Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Getting back to work on the Cobra in this video. Going to pick up where we left off in the last one. First thing that I need to get to work on is doing the piston to valve clearance check, making sure everything's good there. With the cam I have the E303, the 1.6 rockers, and the new trick flow heads. Just need to make sure that we are good with the factory Mustang pistons. Should be, because I've done this swap on previous cars in the past and have not had an issue, but better be safe than sorry. I'm also going to check the push rod length before I do the final install and make sure I have the right length push rods, because there are two that you typically go with the trick flow heads. It's kind of a 50-50 shot at which ones your engine wants. So I need to check that, and then I'll be the final cleanup of the top of the block, the deck, and the pistons, make sure everything's good to go, and then we can go ahead and get the heads installed. I'm not sure if I'll get the install done in this video. It may just be getting all of the prep work finished. We'll see where time ends up and go from there. So that being said, I am going to start walking through the process of checking the piston and valve clearance, how I do it with the tools that I have. All right, so let me get started on explaining how I handle the checking piston and valve clearance. You know, the proper way that they have in the books is to get a solid lifter, get your push rod, put some clay on top of the piston, cycle it, measure the thickness of the clay. The way I do it is, you can see here, I've taken the valve springs and retainers off two of the valves, and I use zip tie just to make sure the valve doesn't fall through. What I do is I get the rocker installed basically so there's no slack. I'm holding up and pulling back on the valve while I'm tightening this down, just so there's no slack and it's pretty much a snug fit. And what I'll do then is I'll just cycle it through, and while I'm holding the valve, touch it, push it down when it's at max lift and around the max lift cycle as far as where the piston's coming up and down. I hope this makes sense. And just find the tightest clearance between the valve and the piston, basically manually pushing the valve down, feeling for the piston just gently until I get the spot where there's the tightest clearance, and then I'll check the clearance between the rocker arm and the top of the valve. That's how I do it, just because I don't have solid lifters, don't have the other tools. I've done this in the past, never had a problem. I don't have a gasket in between the head and the block. It is tightened down just using those two bolts there. So that way, if I test it now and I have enough clearance, I'll definitely have enough clearance once there's a head gasket in place, because that's going to add me some thickness there as well. So what I'm going to do, I got to check the specs and what it calls for on the intake and the exhaust. Right now I have the piston at top dead center. I will run back through the intake lift portion, find my tolerances there, check the tightest tolerance, and then I'll do the same thing as far as the exhaust lift portion of the camshaft goes. Check clearances between the camshaft and the piston and the valve, see where that's at, and then I'll see what my numbers are and go from there. So this is how I do it. It's worked for me in the past, never had a problem with it, and it's just working with what I have, finding the best way to do it. I had the tools to remove valve springs, don't have the stuff to check lift setup, so make and do, but this will at least get you the information you need. So let me run a cycle through and see where I end up. All right, so here we are on the intake side. I cycled through where at pretty much the tightest gap between I shouldn't say pretty much, the tightest gap between the valve and the piston, and that is occurring, it's at 4 degrees on the damper, as you can see right there where it's marked. It seems to be the tightest spot. I went back and forth just holding this, and I could feel where the valve would come up and then stop because it is touching the piston. So I have a stack of feelers here. This is stacked 2.080, which is what the spec is in the trick flow instructions. And it goes in, it's a little snug, but it goes in, but then also I will have a head gasket there, which is a 0.039 thickness head gasket. So that will loosen things up. So I should be good on the intake side. Now I need to do the same thing with the exhaust side again. I will get it so I'll go through basically the lift cycle of the exhaust valve, find the spot where the valve is closest to the piston, and the gap between the rocker arm and the valve is the least, and then I'll check that spec. That spec should be 0.100 according to the trick flow instructions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on that. All right, and I just went through the exhaust cycle. Again, these are stacked to be 0.100 per the spec. This never got snug at all. It was loose the entire time. I mean, there was one time it was close to being, being a little like tension, but barely any tension whatsoever. So plenty of gap on the exhaust side. Like I said, the intake side got snug in one little spot, but I mean, it wasn't like tight, really clamped down. I was still able to move this around ever so slightly. So with a head gasket, I'll have plenty of spec as far as the clearance goes for the piston to valve. So that's good. One other thing to think about too is when these are set, you do have, the rocker, the springs in, and you do collapse the hydraulic adjuster a little bit as well. So that's going to gain you even more clearance. So yeah, we're good to go as far as clearance and speccing these out. Piston and valve clearance, pretty happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. All right, next thing I'm going to do is check push rod length, make sure I'm happy with the push rods I have currently. The way I'm doing that, again, there's multiple ways that the trick flow thing tells you to go through, but it does say for roller rockers, the best way to do it is to get it to half lift and then check the position of the roller tip on the end of the valve. Make sure it is pretty much centered. If it's centered at half lift, you should be pretty good as far as your play goes and your travel goes. So I'm going to go ahead, start working on checking and seeing if everything is where it is supposed to be. All right, real quick, this is the exhaust valve. You can see the pin for the roller is pretty much lined up with the valve stem. So this is at half lift. Pretty happy with how that looks. Everything looks to be in line. All right, and here is the intake. Again, pretty happy with how it's sitting. It sits almost dead on center. This one's a little bit further off. It's hard to see based on the angle I'm trying to hold this camera at. That's pretty much where I want it to be. Cycled through, and I'm pretty happy with the minimal amount of travel. So I think these push rods are going to be the right size for this engine. As I've said, these are the same ones I've used in the past. These are the 675s. 650s are the other options with trick flow heads, but the 675s seem to be the ones I will need. All right, everything pulled back off the engine. It's set back to top dead center. You can see right here, this is where the valve would hit tightest clearance spot. So this is where I was doing the measuring and stuff, and where I was having a little bit of a little bit of touching and whatnot as I was going through. The exhaust, I think it's pretty much right around where the dome is where it hits. There wasn't even really much marker on the exhaust valve because, like I said, that one I had plenty of clearance with. It was only the intake where I had a few spots where it was slightly tight. But yeah, I mean, everything is back in place. You can see, again, the mark on the intake where it was ever so slightly scraping that old carbon off. The exhaust, there's a little bit, but yeah, I think it was just in the pocket where it was touching. So that is how that's going to work as far as piston valve goes. Like I said, once the head gasket's on, that'll give me more clearance, so not worried at all. Happy with the push rod length. So next thing is going to be to get the head reassembled and then start cleaning the block, start cleaning all the parts, and getting ready to put this thing back together. All right, head's back together. Valve locks are all back in place, so everything's good to go here. So yeah, next on the list, I got to get the deck cleaned up as well as the pistons, do the final cleaning there. I'm probably going to be wiping down the frame and whatnot because you can see it's just all gunky. And right now I have really great access, so now's a good time to just start wiping things down. And then I need to clean and prep all the parts for installation because most of them still have all the shipping oil and whatnot on them. I removed it off the ones that I was using, but the rest of them all need to be cleaned up. So yeah, got some cleaning work to do, and then I will come back with an update. All right, time for a little update. I went ahead on the passenger side, cleaned the deck off, used some brake clean on a rag, and then used drill with a softer wire wheel. This isn't like heavy duty, it bends pretty easily. It's not gonna gouge the metal or anything like that. But I mean, you can see it still looks stained from the gasket, but I've gone over it. There's no material left, and I've gone over it with a rag with some brake clean to the point where it comes off pretty much clean. So after doing that, I went down each cylinder, wiped it out, kind of kept spinning the block over, wiping the cylinders out. I re-oiled the cylinder walls just to keep from anything getting corroded or any rust forming until I get the head on and get this thing sealed up. So That's where we're at now. One side done. I'll just have to do one little final wipe down when I go to put the gasket and the head on. But other than that, this side is pretty much clean and ready to go. You can see I had everything covered in the center there. So I need to go on to the other side, get the other side clean. And then once all that cleaning is done, I'm gonna actually clean the engine bay, areas around here while I can get to them before the heads and the exhaust are on. Just try and wipe things down a little bit. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on the other side. All right, fast forward a little bit. Here is the passenger side. Everything's cleaned up. Did the same thing. Went over it with the wire wheel on the drill. Also did the two upper walls to make sure there was no residue left after I did the scraping. Wiped everything down with. First, I vacuumed up any material that was in cylinder bores from the wire wheel. Then I wiped everything down with a rag with some brake clean on it. Then went down the cylinder walls wiped those out, and then topped them off with some ATF, just a little light coating to keep anything from corroding. Also, wiped out any debris I saw in the lifter valley. I did have the towels there and stuff to try and keep it at the minimum. But yeah, so everything's pretty much cleaned up as much as I'm gonna get it for now. Next on the list, I'm gonna do cleaning of some of the areas that I can get to now that the heads and the exhaust are off, as far as like the frame rails, things like that. They've just gotten dirty over the years, some of the aluminum panels. So gonna get some stuff cleaned up, and then I will come back once all that is done. All right, so I got stuff around the engine cleaned up like I wanted to, just kind of wiped down, got all the grease and stuff off. Looks a lot better. Last thing on my list for prep wise is I need to take a straight edge and check for flatness. I basically go straight across, angle that way, and then you're going to use a 0.004 inch, so 4/1000 feeler gauge, and just double check, make sure you can't get it under there. I've actually already done this side. This side is good. Just need to go over to the other side, check that, and once I'm sure that the block is good and flat, we will be pretty much set as far as block prep goes. All right, same thing, just finished up the driver's side, everything checked out there. Couldn't get the 4/1000 feeler gauge under any of the spots on the straight edge. Did the exact same thing, the 3 different angles, so all set. Block is in good shape. I think it's good for one final cleaning, and then I can start putting head gaskets on and get the heads installed. All right, I said that we were pretty much ready to go, but then I just remembered that I have one more thing I have to do before I can put these heads on, and that is clean up the bolt holes, run a tap down all the holes for the head bolts, and then clean up the head bolts themselves, get all the old sealer and grime and whatnot off of those so I can accurately torque everything. At the same time, realize that this video is getting a little on the long side, so I probably am going to finish it up here. And then next video I can pick up with the cleaning out the holes and doing the final clean of the decks, and then go ahead and get the heads installed. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. If you like what you're seeing, if you want to follow along, see how things turn out, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I do read them, review them, and I will reply. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.